try, but I wrote this song not too long after I moved to Austin, and a community formed of songwriters like Guy Clark, Towns Van Zandt, who never lived here but would come here often, and Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Rusty Weir, E.W. Stevenson. People have interviewed me a lot about that time lately because of the album Austinology. And what I tell them is that I think it was a little bit like what Hemingway went through right after World War I. He was with a lot of big publishing companies, was writing as a journalist, and but a lot of the writers didn't feel like they could really be an American voice, because what they were looking for in the big publishing houses in New York and San Francisco at the time were, they were looking for Gone with the Wind. They were looking for romantic novels, and they were looking for detective stories. So all these American writers had to leave America and go to Paris and live there in kind of the cafe society world. It was a cafe society of a very bohemian type, not high society. And drink wine and coffee and harder liquor, and sit around and talk about their work to each other. You had F. Scott Fitzgerald there, and Gertrude Stein, who probably influenced those people more than anybody else to write a really simple, hard-hitting kind of prose. It became the American voice, and it was all done in a city that was far from America. And even though we left a lot of the big music centers, we came to Austin, which is not a place that was known for music, to be a music center at all. And it was very straight ahead, very conservative town. Austin didn't want music here at that time. We were really were the outlaws, because they were kind of keeping an eye on us, and they weren't sure that they wanted us around. And we would sit around at Schultz's Beer Garden, or the beer garden they eventually built out behind the Armadillo World headquarters, and compare notes. It's just like they did back then. I'm not comparing us to those writers that went to Paris at that time as exiles, because they were, at least in my case, far above anything I've ever done as writers. But it was a similar situation that we experienced, and I tried to describe kind of what it was like in this song. Send this out to Joe Abels, because he's always asked me to play this song every time I've been here.
Wow.
Out in the alleys of Austin, there's a song on the side of the wall. The bottles and the mongrels are trying to make sense out of us all. And the moon looked all too familiar, and the kids say there ain't no man in there, and the laid back baboon by the light of the Texas moon is combing his auburn hair, combing his auburn hair. Out in the alleys of heaven, there's a funky strumming chords as the preachers sit and get stoned in their Buicks. Jesus Christ rolls by in his Ford, and the clouds are like the feathers of sparrows. 1,000 different colors of gray. It's the hustle of the paradise barber and the glory of hanging out in space. Lord knows how Texans love to hang out in space. In the alleys of Boston and heaven, songs they play pretty much the same. The jam sessions sound like the gutters as the muddy licks and sticks roll down the drain, and the drain pipe rolls out to the river, and the Pedernales flows out to the sea, and the sea waters rise up to heaven to rain back down on the alleys of Austin and you.